This is ridiculous. I want to talk about that in the video. They changed the rewards we are getting in the Altar of Memories ranking, and this sucks a lot. But I don't want to complain only, because they change other things as well, and so they listen to the community, and maybe they will do the same about the Altar of Memories rewards after watching that video if we complain a lot, because this is not acceptable, alright? I'm gonna explain to you everything in detail so you know about it, especially if you're a new player, because you didn't know what rewards we will get before in the Altar of Memories and what these are used to, alright? By the way, right before getting into the content, did you know that you could get some free rewards in-game by supporting your favorite content creator? Basically, during the month of June, you will receive some Kappa pouches, rune runners to get more artifacts, you will get some recharge tickets to get more RP, and activity support chests, so just a few more materials such as potions and herbs, stuff like that to craft. Basically, the only thing you have to do is open one of my video, like that, go in the description and click on that link here. You will access that page here. You just need to click on that button, support. You need to log in using your connection, logins you have in game, stuff like that. Click on support, and by doing that, you will receive some coupons. You don't need to spend anything. Basically, I will have the list. I can send you some rewards during the month and later as well. On the other side, if someday you want to spend in game, I will receive a percentage based on your spending. So thank you so much to everyone who want to support me. So, right before talking about the things that unnerves me, I want to talk about the great things, and I can't thank the team enough for that. They listen to us on many things, and the copper especially. Let me go in the Messenger Raven here and start with the production. It was useless before. We needed to spend a crazy amount of copper here to deploy our workers to produce some materials, and now they reuse by a lot the copper we need for the production. And this is amazing because now we can produce a lot of items. If I collect everything I have here, getting a lot of items here. It doesn't seem to be a lot, but they changed also the trade, and you can get a crazy amount of copper through the trade. So now I recommend to do that all the time when it is available. So if I go to manage trade, basically I'm always running my 5 carriages, and I'm gonna claim the rewards. You will see what I am getting, all right? I'm getting these. These are goods that you can sell to get a lot of copper. Basically, if I click on the spoon here, 6k copper by selling 1 spoon only. I got a bonus one, so I'm getting 12k here. The candlesticks, 4k per candlestick. I have 12. And the trout here, 1k each, so I'm getting 16k copper by selling these. Of course, it's gonna require a crazy amount of material if you want to trade, but this is worth it, guys. And thanks to the rework on the production, now you can get these materials, and you have as well some flowers, herbs that you can farm for your alliance, because you have some collection quests, and these are the best to farm. I'm gonna make a video showing you why it is important to farm the collection quests on your alliance. You will understand that later, alright? So here, I got some oil. I'm gonna deploy my guys. I will get 8 of these. Of course, I need to spend all my oil, but this is alright because look at that, 12k copper per thing here. I have 8. I'm gonna get close to 100,000 copper by selling these. This is amazing, guys. This is a lot of farming, but yeah, this is worth it. Trust me, it is. Just gonna save 1 because just in case I want to craft some explosive bolts, I need to save some oil here. But I'm gonna start the trading, and this is just amazing. If I scroll to the right, I have another spoon here. I can just basically use 32 blue roses to get 1 more here. Amazing and time-saving feature to get a lot of copper, guys. Here, I can spend some wormwood to get 5 of these, so 5k. I'm gonna auto assign, I'm gonna do that twice. It's okay, I'm gonna farm them again, and I will get a lot. And here on the right, I got some more of these, 4k each. I'm gonna auto assign, I have 2 workers, so I can double the trading reward at the end. Amazing. Before, I didn't even care about having a higher grade workers for the trade and the production, but now it have some sense. So very, very important to do that. So thank you so much for that. So now, if I go to the shop, 76k copper. amazing. I do freaking love that. So thank you so much for changing that, guys. So we don't need to farm a crazy amount of time on the map as we were doing before with the sheepskins and stuff like that. So this is very, very nice. They changed something else, giving us some more copper as well. Regularly, we are getting some events in which we can get some pouches here. We have a chance to get between 2k or 30k. Never had a 30k, I'm gonna be honest, but sometimes you are getting the 12k, the 6k. You get some pouches in many, many different ways. So this is very, very interesting. And in the shop as well, if you purchase the monthly subscription, they changed the reward as well, the special sale, you get a pouch as well, so you are getting more copper now as well. So if I open that, my inventory here, I got the pouch, let's see if I am lucky, 6k copper. So I'm getting more. They also changed the weekly rewards. Now we are getting 100k copper per week just by completing these. I don't remember exactly how much we were getting before. Maybe it was a 30k maximum, something like that. But we are getting 100k now, which is way better. Still talking about the copper, there is one thing that I hate. Something they changed on the global release about the potions. I was hoping for a cost reduction, but in fact, instead of doing that, they increased the cost of these 3 potions here, which were the best we had before to increase our damage versus the 3 types of enemies you have in game. The humans with that potion here, the white walkers, the whites with this potion, and the beast here. Basically, I was crafting a lot of these to increase my damage versus beast, so to farm the Altar of Memories rankings that I'm going to talk about right after in the video. They increased the fee here to craft the potion. They increased the duration, those before it was lasting only 6 minutes, now it's 30 minutes, so yeah, they tried to compensate with the copper here, but they decreased the efficiency. Before we were getting 30%, damage increased and damage decreased versus beasts, humans and whites. Now it's only 8%. You need to remove the fee here. We already need to purchase these bottles. If I show you, the only way to acquire some is to through some chests that you can find on the map, but it's only a one-shot, and then you need to go here in Winterfell, talk to that merchant here. This is the only one selling some bottles here. You need to spend 200 copper each, all right? So you already need to spend to obtain the bottles, and now you need to spend a crazy amount in the workshop if you want to craft these potions. But it's not the only thing, because for the other things we need a lot of crafting materials and we still have a fee. Just remove the fee. We need to obtain the materials. They are already very expensive and the potions crafting is requiring a ton of copper. Please, if you watch the video, remove the fee here. We already have so many features in the game requiring some copper. Here, it's unbelievable that we need to spend some copper because we need a crazy amount of materials to craft. You need a crazy amount of copper to do all the things in game, such as the jewelry crafting here. It requires a lot, as you can see, 2.8k per craft here. So if I want to craft with all the materials I have, I need 40k. This is a lot. If you want to enhance your jewels, if I go on the legendary, if I select every blue, epic and stuff like that, for 8 levels only it requires 113k copper for a legendary. This is insane. If you want to recast jewelry, you need to spend. If you want to craft equipment, you need to spend. And there are more ways to spend your copper. Basically, on the map, you have some occupied side in which you can purchase some inventory equipment or inventory expansion tools, projectile expansion tools, and you have also some HP tinctures expansion tools. Basically, you have a different occupied side on the map, and if I go to this one, for example, I'm pretty sure that I will find that merchant here. When you liberate a camp, you will find a merchant inside, and by talking to the merchant, you can purchase these expansion tools. Here, HP tinctures, it costs 72k. If you want to purchase an inventory expansion tool, you need to spend 48k, if I remember. And for a projectile expansion tool, you need to spend 32k copper. So this is a lot. You have one in every single occupied site, and when you liberate a site, you are getting one for free just by liberating the site. So very, very important to do that, Oli. I'm gonna make another video talking about some tips and stuff like that, so stay tuned, guys. And there is the thing that burns your copper, the artifact advancement. Basically, the highest rarity, the more the copper you will need to spend and the more the waxes you will need to spend as well. This is the one I am upgrading at the moment. And if I select only these, look at that. I would get only 1% advancement rates. Not even guaranteed to get 1% with all of these. I need to spend 13k copper. This is insane. I'm gonna go on another one on which I have a lot of materials to enhance this one. Look at that, I have a crazy amount of materials because I never used these to upgrade one. Alright, so if I select everything I have for 17 to 29%, by the way, the range is insane. I need 238k copper. This is insane, right? If you want basically to enhance an artifact, a legendary one, from 0 to the max, which is 120%, close to that, you need 1,800,000 copper, without talking about the restore fee, because it's gonna break when you enhance, and you need to restore it using some of these tools. You can farm some for free, so don't worry about it. But yeah, you need to spend a crazy amount of copper for that. And you have the houses sigils as well. When you upgrade them, you are not getting a lot of stats and momentum, but it requires a lot of copper as well. So everything is burning your copper in game, so this is very nice that we have more ways to obtain some copper. The artifact expeditions, they changed the rates here. Before we had a 2.5% chance, but to get a legendary expedition in which we were not guaranteed to get a legendary artifact. We could get an epic, and most of the time you were dropping some epic. Alright, I'm gonna show you, they added the rates here on that button, so you can access the website in which you can see the different rates you have. So here, if I go on an expedition level 10, so this is what I have at the moment. So in the game, if I reopen the game, you have 1% chance to proc a big expedition. And so basically, a great expedition, you are getting directly a legendary, alright? So 1% chance. Guaranteed legendary. You have 12% chance to get a rare or an epic artifact, and if I open again the rates here, you can see the difference. So you have all the legendaries here, by the way, 14% chance each. This is the same rates for every single one, and there you have a 5.2% chance to get any of the blue ones in game. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 in total. 14 in total, so 5.2621 multiplied by, I said 14. So you have a 73% chance to get a blue artifact when you proc a success reward, so 12% chance to proc a success reward. At 73% of the time you will get a blue one, and 26% of the time you will get a purple artifact. So they listen to us on that aspect here, so this is very cool. And thanks to that, I was able to get the artifact I wanted, and I have been crazy lucky, I suppose. So I got that artifact, which is my main one. I got it right before they reworked the content. I got one more copy of this one that I use on my sellsword, which is the best one on the sellsword. This is the best one to have on an assassin, and the best one to have on a knight as well, because you don't have any good one on the knight to provide better stats here, unfortunately. Maybe they will add one in the future. And on the active one, I got a new one they just released, and this is an insane one. This is completely broken. You are getting a crazy amount of attack power and crit damage twice here when you're using the skill. This is insane. So I had way more, we have way more rates than before. Alright, so the Ferocious Beast, they changed the rewards, alright? And the rewards are great now, because before we were getting only some full pelts here, and they haven't changed the rate, so it is still very hard to obtain one directly, but we are getting some scraps. And we get 20, and once we get 20, we can convert them into a legendary pelt or an epic pelt here. I farmed that during 2 days. I spent all my RP. I had a lot of saved RP in my inventory. I farmed that. I was already able to get the 20 and craft an epic pelt. So we are getting more materials through that, and it is more accessible to players. So another great change. So thank you so much for that. But now it's time to talk about the things that they changed And that is absolutely ridiculous. In the ranking here, Altar of Memories, and I hope that they will listen to that, they changed the rewards. Before, we were getting a crazy amount of hardeners here, and they are mandatory to recast the effects on your gear. This is something that you are doing not only in endgame. During your progression, you can do that by crafting some blue gear. Generally, this is what I recommend to do. And this is the only way today to get the stats you want. You need to recraft multiple times your gear if you want, because if you craft some epic artifact, epic equipment or legendary equipment, this is just gonna be very, very hard to get the stats you want. Basically, let me show you what you're getting. Equipment. No, I need to go to the Messenger Raven, to the craft and reforge. Let's go to change random artifacts. So if I show that to you, this is a tier 4 weapon. If I want to recast the effects here, I need 12 of these. 12, and this is absolutely ridiculous. Because before, if you were pushing the rankings in the Altar of Memories every week with your alliance, you could get in the top 10, and if you were getting in the top 10 mostly everywhere with your 3 characters or stuff like that, you were getting a crazy amount of these. Basically, before the global launch, I was able to get around 40 to 50, and after global launch, I was able to get only 7, between 7 and 10. This is ridiculous. 10 per week. You are not even getting one change on a legendary tier 4 gear. You need 15 on a tier 5 legendary. This is not enough. You can't do anything now, so there is no goal anymore to farm the weekly ranking on Altar of Memories. So you need to consider changing that. Add more of these in the rankings. This is the only way to obtain some of these. This is absolutely ridiculous. A huge nerf, and you need to consider changing that, guys. Same for these. We can get these only in the Wormwalks. We got only a few. And if I want to lock a skill here, I need 22. This is only a tier 4 legendary. And it requires a crazy amount of materials if you want to craft that. This is super rare. You need to obtain some pelts on the Ferocious beast. And even with the scrap system they added in the game, this is still very hard to obtain some. So, this is ridiculous. You need to increase the amount of the hardeners we are getting in the game. Otherwise, we have no goal anymore in the game. We are just not gonna craft these, or maybe just for the weapons. This is what I'm doing with my main character. Here, I was lucky because before I was getting a lot through the Altar of Memory, so I could recast or change the effects here, so I got everything I want. But now I'm not switching to the tier 5 because this is just undoable anymore. We can't get that. Basically, but when you click here, you can see the rates and look at all the skills you have, in fact. So this is impossible when you're crafting to get what you want. Alright? The only way today to get that is to basically farm the crafting materials, go to your craft, and craft again and again the blue gear. This is what I did. Tier 5, champion. I crafted that again and again and reforged until I was able to get the set I wanted. This is the only way, but you can't afford doing that with the purple and the legendary gear. Alright, so they need to fix that as fast as they can, because this sucks a lot. There is no point anymore to farm legendaries and purple. Basically, I don't care about the defense on my character, so I prefer having a blue helmet instead of having a purple one, because I just don't have the skill I want here. We are not getting any hardeners here anymore. On the second dungeon, we are not getting any unless you are the top 1 player of your server. This is ridiculous. On the top 3, we are not getting any. On the top 4, we are not getting a lot. Man, this is the 4th one. It is hard to get top 2, top 3, and you are getting nothing here. But in comparison, on the last one, you are getting a crazy amount if you are the top 1. Man, top 2. This is very hard to get top 2, so increase the rewards here. 18 is not a lot. With 18, you can basically change the effect on one weapon only if it is legendary tier 5. One time per week. And you have only 1% chance maybe to get the effect you want. This is not doable. You need to consider changing that. In my opinion, the rank 1 should have something around 40, 45. So he can try 3 times to change the roles, alright? Not everyone will be in the top 1 ranking, not everyone will be in the top 2, top 3, and for the top 10 you are getting nothing, almost nothing. In my opinion, the top 10 should have at least 15 so they can retry at least 1 time on the legendary tier 5. This is what I think. And the other players, if they are struggling, then they will go in the shop and on the packages, they will probably purchase these here. And by the way, 100, this is the equivalent of maybe $5, something like that. $5, you are not even getting enough to reroll on 1 legendary tier 5. Not even a tier 4 legendary. So consider changing that as well. This is very important. This is what we are farming in endgame. Alright? So guys, that was all I had to say in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a really nice day. Take care. And don't miss the future videos because I'm going to show you some guys on how to farm efficiently the gathering materials with your alliance. How to... some guys on the different classes because I purged that a lot. And I have a lot of things to talk about with the different classes. And yeah, that's all guys. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye bye.